Good day, students. You're welcome to biology class, past question and solution, and we continue our class in 2019. Now we're on question number 9. Underground storage stems which grow horizontally in the soil, are A. bulbs, B. runners, C. rhizomes, D. corms. Now these are all examples of natural vegetative propagation. So what do we mean by natural vegetative propagation? Now, natural vegetative propagation is a process or is a situation where a parent plant will propagate itself by the use of leaves, roots, and stem. So it's a natural form because the plants will make use of all these parts called the vegetative part, the stem, the root, and the leaf to produce another plant without any interference of human. Okay, that's why we call it natural. Vegetative means other parts or part of the plant other than the flower. Propagation means production. So let's define each of these processes. What is bulb? Bulb is an underground stem, or you say underground shoot, where underground compressed shoots with brown scaly leaves and the succulent leaves. Example of bulb is the onion bulb. So let's look at runners. Runners are underground stem also. But however, you say they are slender, creeping underground stem that grow horizontally beneath the soil. So let's look at rhizome. Rhizomes are also underground stem that grow horizontally beneath the soil. That means that the answer is rhizome, because the runners are slender creeping stems. So what are examples of runners before we actually move out of this question? Example of runners, we have let me see, the black currant. Yes, strawberry, exactly. Strawberry. The black currant is an example of stone. So let's look at rhizome. What is an example of rhizome? Rhizome, you know that as students, that's ginger. Then corm. Corms are also underground stem that grow vertically up the soil. Okay? So the corms, example of corm is the gladiolus. So the answer is rhizome. So let's go to the next question number 10. Muscle fatigue in the body of an athlete is due to dash. A. Low pH. B. High oxygen content. C. Accumulation of lactic acid. D. Accumulation of carbonic acid. Now there's what is called the lactic acid formation or accumulation. It occurs in the muzzle of the athlete, and it also occurs in the germinating seed. Okay. Now this occurs because there is no oxygen. When an athlete runs over and over, the athlete is not able to get enough oxygen to be able to meet up with the running he is undergoing. Therefore, there is what is called the oxygen shortage in that athlete. And when there's oxygen shortage, the athlete is going to accumulate, the glucose in the muscle of the athlete is going to break down. So the glucose will break down in the absence of oxygen. Don't forget that when you have the glucose being broken down in the absence of oxygen, it's called the fermentation or anaerobic respiration. So glucose will be broken down to form the lactic acid, and the little amount of energy is being produced. So the answer is there is low oxygen, which results into the accumulation of lactic acid. Now let's go to the next question. Number 11. The earth can beat continuously without being fatigued because it's composed of dash. So this question is actually, it's want to test our knowledge on the types of muscles. And we know that we have 3 types of muscles. Don't forget that. We have the skeletal muscle. we have the cardiac muscle, and we have the smooth muscle. So the skeletal muscle is found outside the body, that is covering the skeleton. That's why we call it skeletal. Okay, while the cardiac is found in the outside the body, covering the bones. Then the cardiac muscle is found in the heart, while the smooth muscle is found in the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, the passage where the food will go through, and also in your respiratory tract. So the cardiac muscle has the muscle is automatic in the sense that it generates its own rhythm and is able to contract continuously without a voluntary action. So the answer is going to be skeletal, no. Smooth muscle is found in the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, and respiratory, no. The answer is it has its own special types of muscle and it's called the cardiac muscle. And let's go to the last question, number 12. The products of tissue respiration are there is what is called the tissue respiration. And the tissue respiration is the respiration that is taking place inside the tissue of the cell. It's also called the cellular respiration. Also called what? The cellular respiration. So the cellular respiration is the respiration that is involved either oxygen or no oxygen. However, there is breakdown of glucose at the tissue or in the cell. So let me give the equation the equation of cellular respiration or tissue respiration where oxygen is involved. So we have glucose. Broken down by oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy in form of ATP. Okay, let me write the equation here so I can balance this. Is H12O6, that is glucose. Okay, so we have glucose here, we have oxygen here, 6 oxygen, 6 carbon dioxide, and 6 molecules of water. So what we're going to produce at the end of the day when we have the tissue respiration are carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. So let's look at our options. This can never be the option because we are making use of glucose. We are not producing glucose. Oxygen, no, because we are making use of oxygen. We are not producing oxygen. Then water, carbon dioxide, and energy. So our answer is D. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class. Goodbye.